घर खाना नभएकोलाई खाना बाँडेर जानुभएको हो। त्यो बेलादेखि नै चिनेको र उहाँलाई चिनाइदिने दिनुहुने भिक्षु चाहिँ मेरो साथी हुनुहुन्थ्यो नन्द भन्थे, जो क्यालनी युनिभर्सिटीमा मसँगै पढ्नुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँले चिनाइदिनु भएको हो। उहाँको गुरु रत्न तुङ्गज्यू पनि आउनुभएको छ र उहाँ अलि आराम लिनलाई भएर बस्नुभएको छ। र उहाँहरू जब 22-23 साल 2022-23मा इन्डिया र नेपालमा पिस वाकमा आउनुभयो, त्यो बेला चाहिँ यहाँ नेपाल लुम्बिनीमा पनि घुम्नुभयो, कपिलवस्तु घुम्नुभयो। त्यस्तै जम्मा 3400 किलोमिटर उहाँहरू इन्डिया र नेपालमा घुम्नुभएको थियो त्यो बेला। र त्यसपछि अमेरिकामा 112 दिन 2300 माइल 3700 किलोमिटर घुम्नुभएको थियो। टेक्ससदेखि वासिङटनसम्म जब यो युद्ध भइरहेको छ इरान र अमेरिका, त्यस्तै रसिया र अर्को देश होइन, त्यस्तो अवस्थामा उहाँले विश्व शान्तिको लागि भनेर उहाँले 2300 माइल 112 दिनसम्म टेक्ससदेखि वासिङटनसम्म घुम्नुभयो। ग्लोबल पिस वकको लागि उहाँले मेहनत गर्नुभयो। त्यो बेला करिब 1-1 मिटरसम्म हिउँ भएको ठाउँमा उहाँले हिँड्नुभयो, त्यो पनि जुत्ता नलाइकन। खुट्टा सबै सुन्निएर घाउ भएर गए पनि उहाँले जुत्ता लाउनु भएर, कपडा बेरेर भए पनि जानुभयो। त्यो साथसाथै उहाँले करिब 20जना भिक्षुसँगै जानुभएको थियो। र आलोकको बारेमा भन्ने हो भने, आलोक भन्ने कुकुर चाहिँ इन्डियाबाटै फेला पार्नु भएको र इन्डियामा जब घुम्नुभएको थियो करिब 3400 किलोमिटर, त्यो बेला सँगसँगै घुमेको कुकुर हो। लुम्बिनी पनि त्यो बेला आएको थियो र अमेरिकामा पनि 110 दिनसम्म सँगसँगै घुम्यो। त्यसपछि फेरि श्रीलङ्कामा 1 हप्तासम्म घुम्यो होइन। त्यस कारण उहाँहरू जब चारधाम घुम्न नेपाल र भारत आउने भन्नुभयो, तर पछि आएर कुशीनगरबाट नै फर्किने, दिल्ली जाने भन्ने कुरा आयो। त्यो थाहा पाएर मैले फेरि बुझेँ, किन भन्दा यहाँ पहिला राष्ट्रपति र प्रधानमन्त्री भेट्ने कुरा थियो, त्यो हुन सक्ला जस्तो छैन, हाम्रो समय पनि छैन। त्यसो हामी वापस जान्छौँ दिल्ली र 17 तारिक हाम्रो फ्लाइट छ भन्नुभयो। त्यसमा मैले फेरि प्रयास गरेर राष्ट्रपति भेट्ने प्रोग्राम गरिदिएको छु र उहाँ लुम्बिनी आउनुभएको छ। भोलि बिहान फेरि काठमाडौँ गएर आनन्दकुटी बिहार, बौद्धनाथ, चारुमती बिहार घुमेर उहाँ राष्ट्रपति भेट्ने कार्यक्रम छ भोलि बेलुका 5 बजे र पर्सि बिहान 8 बजे उहाँको फ्लाइट छ दिल्ली। यो प्रकारले उहाँको कार्यक्रम बनेको छ र हामी उहाँबाट उहाँको अनुभव र उहाँको मेसेज आई वुड लाइक टु रिक्वेस्ट आवर वेनेबल पन्याकर to give you experience and also some message to the gathering.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Respected the Bhikkhu Maitri, respected the Mahasangha, respected government official, Lumbini Trust, and hello everyone. How are we today?
Good.
Very good. Very happy.
Very happy.
Very privileged.
First of all, I pay deep gratitude to Pandya Maitri and the member of the Sangha and all the government official who arranged this gathering here in this sacred land of our Buddha. And when we came here, it's just like 2 years ago, 2023, when we walked from Kolkata, India to Bodh Gaya and all the sacred sites of our Buddha, and then came to Lumbini, came to here, Lumbini, and then we continue our journey throughout the all the sacred sites of the Buddha in Nepal. And so that marks our milestone of the walk. That is the first time that I joined the walk with the Sangha of Thailand. Every year, it's been like over 15 years that the Sangha of Thailand that they walk in India, Nepal every year, and every time when they walk, it's about over 100 days, and there's hundreds and hundreds of Sangha members who walk like that every year here. In 2022, I joined the first walk. After I joined that first walk, and I wrote a book called "Following the Footsteps of the Buddha." That is the name of the book, the name of the journey. But when I wrote my first book, I call is a footstep of a Buddhist monk, and in Vietnamese I call bước chân hành giả. And now that we translate it into Thai language already, and so when I wrote that book, it reminds me a lot about the life of our Buddha. As we are here inside of this sacred land, the birth of our Siddhartha Bodhisattva. And I don't know how about you, but myself, every time when I get some offerings, the place to live, food to eat, medicine to drink, and robe to wear, I always think of our Buddha. This time that I always ask the people when I give a Dhamma talk, I always ask, as a Buddhist monk, where and how do we get all these robes? And how and where do we get all the offerings from? And so the answer is always because of our Buddha. Without the birth of our Bodhisattva, Siddhartha, we won't have this day. We wouldn't have this day. Because of our Bodhisattva born here at this place. And from there, he walked his life to become enlightenment, to become a Buddha, Samma Sambuddha, the only Samma Sambuddha in the world, in this universe, to preach the Buddha Dhamma, the truth, to all of us. Yet we've been in and out this samsara, life after life, for so long. But how many of us actually pay gratitude to our Buddha? Pay gratitude to our Bodhisattva when we step into this sacred land, right here? How many of us actually have that kind of thoughts, have that kind of thinking towards our Buddha? Or we just come in here to pay respect to the sacred sites and making a vow, making a wish for our life to be better, making our vow a wish for health, wealth, job, family, and things like that. And of course, the answer is always we are wishing for ourselves. We are making a vow for ourselves, a wish for ourselves, because this is so sacred, so holy that we think whenever we make a wish here, it will come true. But is it really come true? Or it's just our imagination, or it's just our greedy mind that we always wishing for things? The answer is because of attachment, because of greedy mind, we always making wishes and so on for ourselves. That's we also call selfishness. Selfish, right? So when we have that kind of selfish, we always think about ourselves. But when we think about ourselves, it's not the truth either. Because when we think of ourselves, we should think of our Buddha, because he came to this world to lit that torch, to show us the way of liberation, the way of enter into the Parinibbana. But it's been 2,600 years already. We are going in and out this circle of life, and yet we still here suffering. And then when we go in there and do the praying, we again making a vow for us to go in and out the samsara again. Even if we have the gut to make a vow of liberation to attend the Nibbana. But how do we get to that stage? What should we do to gain that wisdom to liberate, to attain the blissfulness of Nibbana? That is a big question. We only want to have everything in this world, but we don't want to work hard for it. Why don't we want to work hard for it? Because it's so difficult. Let's just say, when we suffer so much in this life, and then when someone, a teacher, a monk, tell us that you have to make a strong determination, you have to stand up and walk away, walk again, don't keep lying there, don't just stay suffer as it is right now, stand up, walk. And then we stood up and then we walk again, just for a few days, and then we give up again. Because it's so difficult, it's so hard on this journey. Because every time when we encounter problem, we give up. We encounter problem, we give up, and we keep doing that to ourselves. Then how can we attain Nibbana? How can we gain wisdom to liberate all kind of suffering? There's no way. That is why we are in and out this circle of life, every life. Become a human being, sometimes we reborn in heaven. A lot of the time we reborn in hell, animal realm, beta, asura, just like aloka. We talk about aloka, this peace dog right here. Aloka is a dog who walked with us for so long. He walked and now he became the peace ambassador. But why did he become a dog? It's because of sila, because of not mindful, because of doing unwholesome things. That is why the last moment of life he reborn as an animal realm. And so, how about us? Do we have the guarantee that after this life we will still reborn as a human being or heaven? Do we have any type of guarantee on that? Of course not. We don't. We don't have that guarantee. Because we always live with defilements. Our mind is always suffer with thoughts. We have millions and millions of thoughts within a second like that. And then when we have all kind of thoughts, when they pop up, what do? We follow those thoughts to the end of it, and we add more into it by imagination. We add more imagination to it. We draw the whole pictures of our life when that thought pop up. We keep doing that every day. Because thought exists with us every single second. So when we come in here and bow down to the Bodhisattva place, birthplace, and yet we still suffer when bowing down to the Bodhisattva. So what is the purpose? What is the point of us doing all this? We have to question ourselves. Are we going to do this for the rest of our life? Or we will take this message of our Buddha that he came to this world to show us the light, to show us the path to liberate, to attain Nibbana. That is a difference. If we think that way, if we have that kind of mindset, I'm paying respect to our Bodhisattva birthplace. birthplace, I understood that he came to this world to show us the light, to show us the way to walk out of this samsara, circle of life. Then from there, we have to be mindful with our thoughts. We have to practice mindfulness meditation. Without mindfulness, we will go in and out this samsara again and again, life after life, non-stop. And how do we train ourselves to have mindfulness? Within our breath. We are breathing every second to keep us alive. But we never pay attention to our breath. We just breathe and breathe and breathe just like a robot. We never pay attention to it. Even when the teacher showed us the way, okay, you have to pay attention to your breath in and out by this nostril. And then when you look at it, in, out, your thought arise. And you chase after that thought. You left this. You forgot about your breath again. And then after 1 hour of meditation, you only get one mindful breath go in and out after 1 hour. And then you feel, oh, this is so difficult. Maybe this method isn't for me. This is not working. Probably it's a wrong message. It's a wrong way of practicing. Or is meant for someone else, but it's not for me. Then we give up. We push ourselves into suffering, doing all unwholesome things again and again and again. And then to the point when this world throwing so much suffering to you, throwing so much lemons and rocks and bitter melons to us, and then we cry. I didn't do anything. Why do I deserve? Why I deserve all this? Why all this hardship come to me? We always cry like that to the universe. But we never ask, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I think that way? We never ask ourselves that way. But if we ask ourselves, or if we tell ourselves, oh, because of the unmindful thought, because of unmindful words, because of unmindful actions, that is why I get all this. That is the result. Right? What goes around will comes around. Because we are the owner of our karma. No one else. And so, for all that reason, that is why we as a Buddhist monks, we walk to raise the awareness of peace, loving kindness, and compassion to all the people who we meet along the road. And just for that simple walk, it touched millions of hearts around the world. And you probably heard about this walk for peace. That's why we gather here today, this evening. But join in the walk for peace isn't means that we will end suffering. Doesn't mean that we will end suffering. We have to practice it. We have to take that into action, which is what? Be mindful with our thought. When one thought pop up, aware of that thought, acknowledge of that thought, and come back to this present moment, here and now. When we're about to say something, we mindful with our thought, we mindful with our words, and stop saying all those unwholesome things. We only say anything that is good, anything that is beautiful, easy for people to hear, to listen. And then when you're about to commit into any type of action, killing, harm the other, If we are mindful enough, we will see that this action will give the result of suffering, then we will stop before doing it. Then our life will be much better. Our life will be much peaceful. But in order for us to do this, we have to have a strong determination. What is a strong determination? I will make a vow, from here on, I will never say bad things. From here on into the end of my life, before I die, I will never do unwholesome things. And from there, every day, we have to be mindful with everything we do. Everything we think, everything we say, we have to be mindful with it. Once we be able to live mindfully like that, peace will begin. It's just because we always chasing outside world, that's why we don't have the ability to look back within. And so when things happen to our life, we react that quick. Because of undesirable thing happen into our life, we react. And then when we react, suffering will follow after. Is that right? But people still react so quickly. It's because we are not mindful. So our walk is to raise awareness of peace and mindfulness for all of us to walk together. Means every day we have to practice mindfulness. We have to aware of our thought. We have to aware of our speech. We have to aware of our actions in order for us to have a peaceful day and peaceful life. So I hope that this message will live with all of us here. This message will make us think before we do anything or before we do say anything. And whenever we go to this sacred site, paying homage to our Bodhisattva, we should question ourselves, why did the Buddha came to this world? And what am I doing here? Would this paying respect to the sacred site would help me to liberate all kind of suffering or not? The answer is no. Then we have to be mindful when we pay respect, be mindful when we making a wish, be mindful when we walk, be mindful when we hear noise, because come into here, we will hear a lot of different noises, different group chanting, different people talking, taking pictures, video, running around, shouting, all those things. How can we be mindful? Most of the time we get sidetracked, distraction, right? And then when we get distracted, we get angry. Just imagine when you trying to meditate and somebody shout, somebody cry, or somebody chanting right next to your ear. You get irritated and then you get mad. That is unmindful. Lead us to suffering. And then when we suffer that way, we are here in this sacred site where the Buddha born, with the Bodhisattva born to become enlightenment, but we still suffer when we are here. Then what is the purpose of coming in here? Just to enjoy? If we just come here to enjoy, then we get the wrong message. We are doing wrong. We have to learn the Buddha Dhamma. We have to practice mindfulness. That is the only way. The only way for us to liberate, to end suffering, is to practice mindfulness. Vipassana Bhavana. Our Bodhisattva became the Samma Sambuddha, the only Buddha in this world, right? The only Buddha in this world. And then we listening we listen and practice the Buddha Dhamma, and then we became enlightenment called Arahant. An Arahant also are called Buddha, but then is just the disciple of the Samma Sambuddha. We should become the disciple of the Buddha. Truly disciple of the Buddha means we have to practice mindfulness. Remember the Buddha say, offerings all kind of flowers and fragrance to the Buddha, it still cannot compare to practicing to liberate, to end suffering. That is the best offering to the Buddha ever. Do we remember that statement of the Buddha? He already stated that, but we didn't follow that. We practice it wrong. We do it wrong. And so it happened that we are traveling to Nepal this time for meeting, and so I have this chance to sit here with all the devotees here. I share this message. I hope that it will help you, even just a little bit. Even if we practice and just only bring a little bit happiness and peacefulness to our life, that is also enough. But in order for us to have all those, we have to practice mindfulness. And so may you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. And may you all soon realize Nibbana and attain the blissfulness of Nibbana. Thank you so much.